מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Chag Sameach. It's my first time standing up here in 3 months or so. To see all these lights, it's very, very moving, and to have the privilege and pleasure of sharing this morning with you all is we're all lights. And I'm just thinking that we're a wonderfully our size is great, but we're small enough. Can I do something what we don't ever do? Share your name. Tell us your name.
My Hebrew name?
Sure, and your English name. What? Rachel Esther. Okay, now tell us your English name.
What's that?
Eileen. Everyone else needs to know it, Eileen. Arlene, tell us your name. So, I think one of the experiences I had in Jerusalem was like to ask the purpose of prayer. Prayer is really, it's for sure about trying to have a conversation with God, to have a conversation with that deep place inside ourselves and that relationship of ultimacy and making that an intimate one. And it's also about us being more connected to each other. And so, one of the reasons actually years ago we moved these pews a little bit was so we could maybe be more able to see each other. Anyway, this morning is the celebration of the culminating day of Pesach, and we observe the holiday of Yizkor. And there's two very important aspects of this morning. Each is important, and each is somewhat in tension with the other. Right? On Passover, you recite Hallel. You rejoice in Hallel. Hallel is this rubric, this portion of the prayer service that is really, it's meant to be the engine of joy for us. Because after all, Pesach is clearly a holiday of great joy. And today, when we read from the Torah, we read from the passage in which that the Israelites sang, the Shirat HaYam, the Song of the Sea, as we pass through the Red Sea. It's a moment of incredible joy. And at the same time, right before the Torah service, right after the Torah service, we will offer our service of Yizkor, the service in which we remember loved ones. Each of these lights is meant to remind us of loved ones. And that service inherently is a service of sadness in many ways. It's a service in which we go back and remember loved ones who are no longer here, and that's inherently hard emotionally. And so, as Rabbi Molbaum said yesterday, when the three of us met, we had the chance to spend time together the first time in several months. She said, well, that's what it is to be Jewish. And I love that insight on her part. She's entirely right. That's what it is to be Jewish. You know, to be able to hold our sadness, our grief, our loss, and also to be able to allow that and beg from that grief, that sadness, that it creates an open space inside of us, a space in which we can feel joy and connection and love and hope and possibility and faith and purpose. And so that's our journey this morning. We will continue Cantor Lappin on page
154.
154. 154.
Matovu. Matovu. Alecha Yaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu. Alecha Yaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu. Alecha Yaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu. Alecha Yaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael.
On page 156, our prayer for the blessing of our bodies working well enough to get us here. Together on 156, praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh chol basar umafli la'asot. Forgive me for skipping the last English line there. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Page 158, prayer for our soul, that eternal source of light. The prayer for the soul, 158.
Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi, tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi
We go from the blessing of our soul, for our soul, to the daily blessings of the miracles of every day. Page 160. 160. We'll begin with the traditional formula, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, and then we'll go to the English. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, and now the English, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen.
Amen.
162. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes and slumber from the eyelids.
Amen.
164. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in the image of God.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah.
Amen.
We turn to page 180 for Psalm 150. Page 181. 181.
Hallelujah, 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 El Bikocho, hallelujah, Birkiyahu, hallelujah, bigvurotav, hallelujah, kerov gudlo, hallelujah, 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 b'teik hashofar, hallelujah, b'never v'chinor, hallelujah, b'tov u'machol, hallelujah, b'minim ve'ugav, hallelujah, 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 b'tziltzlei shama, hallelujah, b'tziltzlei truah, kol anshama tehalleluya, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Please rise on page 188.
Baruchu et Adonai hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai Borach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Borach le'olam va'ed. We continue on the
bottom of page 190 in the English. Praised are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai.
In wisdom you formed them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created, may they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMe'orot. 192.
How deeply you have loved us, Adonai our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion. On
account of our forebears whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life. Be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us, by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah.
והרננו בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבינו לאהבה וליראה את שמך.
192 in the middle.
ולא נבוש ולא ניכלם ולא ניכשל לעולם ועד, כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו, נגילה ונשמחה, נגילה ונשמחה בשועתך. והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ, ותוליכנו קומיות לארצנו, כי אל פועל ישועות אתה. ובנו בחרת, וקרבתנו לשמך, הגדול סלע באמת להודות לך ולעבדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. 196.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה
אשר
אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
So in a moment, we're going to offer our Micha Mocha prayer, which is on page 202. Before we offer it, though, I want to just share a thought. Which is, if there's the prayer Micha Mocha, does everyone have a Siddur? The prayer Micha Mocha is, what's it remembering? What moment is it remembering? The crossing of the Red Sea, the moment of Yetziat Mitzrayim, the moment of the Exodus, the moment of transformation from slavery to freedom. And we sing it every day. And we actually will chant in our liturgy. Every day we remember that moment. We will chant it from the Torah this morning, and we'll actually make sure you can see it. It's really the scribes, they write it in the Torah, they scribe it in the Torah in a very unique way in the Song of the Sea. And actually, Passover, the question might be, what's the difference between us remembering it every day and the holiday of Passover? Or why do we even need to have Passover if we remember it every day? Or another way is asking, if we have Passover, why do we have to remember it every day? And I think a difference is that it's one thing to remember something. It's important, and it's actually really quite difficult. It's quite challenging to remember anything in our world, even the important things. But the holiday of Passover, which, the beginning and the most founding moment of the Passover is the Seder, it's actually meant to be a reenactment of the crossing of the Red Sea. We really reenact it in our souls. That's why on the Seder we're called, the highest obligation of the Seder is that every person must see him or herself as if he or she is going out from Egypt today. And we might ask the question, what do you mean? This is like whatever, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago. How could that be? But of course, I hope all of us recognize that primarily Passover is not meant to be a history lesson. It's not what it's meant to be. It is a history lesson, but it's not its primary message or purpose. Its primary message is about today, because it's probably true that each and every one of us has an Egypt that we are striving or needing or wanting or praying or called to make the Yetziah from Mitzrayim, from Egypt. Each of us has a Mitzrayim in Egypt, a narrow place to try to free ourselves from, to transform into a place of expansiveness as opposed to narrowness. So, Micha Mocha on page 202.
שירה חדשה שבחוגי עולים לשמך על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמלכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני לעולם ועד יא אלי יא אלי יא אלי יא אלי יא אלי יא אלי יא יקומה בעזרת ישראל, ופדחנו מך יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך.
206.
Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. Page 212. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאה, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Page 214. אתה בחרתנו מכל העמים, אהבת אותנו ורצית בנו, ורוממתנו מכל הלשונות, וקידשתנו במצוותיך, וקרבתנו מלכנו לעבודתך. בשמך הגדול והקדוש עלינו קראת, ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה מועדים לשמחה, חגים וזמנים לששון, את יום חג המצות הזה, זמן חירותנו מקרא קודש, זכר לציית Mitzrayim.
Take a moment for personal, private prayer. We'll come together in a few moments, either the pages, the prayers on the page, or the meditations of our hearts. Page 228, Oseh Shalom, at the bottom of the page.
Imromav, Uyase Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Imru, Amen. Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael.
And we now turn to our service of Hallel on page 296. 296. And we fulfill the mitzvah of this holiday by reading the Hallel and trying to feel an added bissel of joy.
Please rise.
Cantor.
Please rise.
Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et Hallel.
Amen.
Page 298.
B'tzeit Yisrael mi Mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am lo'ez, Hayta Yehuda lekodsho, Yisrael mamshelotav, Hayam rav vayanos, Hayarden yisov le'achor, Harim rakdu chelim, Gevaot kivnei tzon, Malecha hayam kitanus, Hayarden tisov le'achor, Harim tirkedu chelim, Gevaot kivnei tzon, Milifnei Adon Chuli Aretz, Milifnei Elohai Yaakov, Hahofchi Hatzur Agayim, Halo Mishlemai Nomayim, B'tzeit Yisrael mi Mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am lo'ez, B'tzeit Yisrael mi Mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am lo'ez.
Page 303. 303.
Pitchu li sharei tzedek avovam odeya. Pitchu li צדק ומודיה זה השער לאדוני צדיקים יבואו בו זה השער לאדוני צדיקים יבואו בו עודך כי עניתני ואי לי לישועה אבן מסו הבונים הייתה לראש פינה מת אדוני הייתה זאת היא נפלאת בינינו מת אדוני הייתה זאת היא נפלאת בינינו יאי לי 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 לי
And now we are actually we're ready to begin our Torah service. So we need some volunteers we need 3 volunteers at the moment, 2 to open the ark and 1 to hold the Torah. You guys want to open the ark? Yes, sir. I believe the alarm is off. Okay, so you're going to open the ark too, Elaine, or no? Okay. Oh, okay. What did you say?
We're on page 230. Please remain standing.
אין כמוך באלוהים אדוני ואין כמעשיך מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים וממשלתך בכל דור ודור אדוני מלך אדוני מלך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום אף הרחמים היטיבה ברצונך את ציון תבנה חומות ירושלים תבנה חומות ירושלים כי בך לבד בטחנו מלך אל רם ונישא אדון עולמים כי מציון תצא תורה כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים
232.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Le'amo Yisrael Bikdushato
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo
Gadol Adonai iti Unramem Hashemo Yachtav Lecha Adonai Hagedula V'Hagevu וגבורה ותפארת והנצח וההוד כי כל בשמיים ובארץ כי כל בשמיים וארץ לך אדוני הממלכה ומתנשא לכל ראש על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים העולם עומד על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים העולם עומד לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב ולא ילמדו עוד מלחמה.
The Torah reading is going to be from chapter 15 of Exodus. I'm realizing we didn't actually encourage people to take a chumash when you came in the door. If we could get maybe a few, thank you, Mickey. As there some friends are helping to get some Torah commentary books, a thought about the Torah readings on Passover. You know, every day of the holiday, it's a different Torah reading, and not surprisingly, on the first day of the holiday, we read about. Guess what we read on the first day of the holiday? What's the passage on the first day? Any guesses? Okay, good. That is part of it. You're right. What happens? What do we do on the first day of the holiday? We have our Seder, right? So the reading that we do on the first day of the Seder, of the first day of the holiday, actually includes the passage in Exodus where we're commanded to have a Seder. Not surprising. And then the last day of Passover, guess what passage we read on the last day of Passover? The passage in which we not have just been, we've escaped from Pharaoh. That's where the story begins. We tell Pharaoh, let us be free. We escape from Pharaoh, but then the last part is we actually make that journey from slavery to freedom, which is what's called the Exodus. We cross the Red Sea. It's a very, very famous passage. It's Exodus 15. Exodus 15. So, do you have a page number? 439. Okay, good. Very good. So, we're going to show you that the Song of the Sea is written in a unique way. It's the only place in the whole Torah where the scribe does the scribing the way it looks, and we'll show it to you in a few minutes after we read the from this passage. But it's to prepare you for what you'll see when we raise it and show it to you. We'll bring it out here and do that. Maybe you'll raise it, Howard. And what we'll see is there's 3 columns in the Torah scroll itself. Just in the way it's scribed, it tries to create the imagery of being one of the Israelites in the Dead Sea. You'll see it's like 3 columns, and the 2 sides are like the walls of the sea that have parted, and the middle we're walking through the middle. So, please, what page? Oh, here, I'll tell you.
438
Yes, 438. Is it 438? Yes. Then to 440. Okay. So why don't we we're gonna have one reading. Why don't we all rise and offer the blessing if you want to, if you can. If you can get yourself to want to stand. I know you can rise. So we'll all offer the blessing together on three. Go Baruch Hu et Adonai, right? 1, 2, 3. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Amvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Amvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen. Az Yashem Moshe Uvnei Yisrael et hashira hazot ladonai v'yomru lemor ashira ladonai ki gao ga'a sus v'rochvo rama vayam ozi v'zimrat ya v'yili lishua. It's a very famous clause. Ze eli v'anvehu Elohei avi v'romamenhu Adonai ish milchama Adonai shemo Markavot paro v'chelo yara vayam umivchar shloshav tubu v'yam suf Telmot yechas yumu yordu vimsolot kmo aven Yemincha Adonai nedari bakoach Yemincha Adonai tiratz oyev Uverov geoncha taros kamecha Tishalach charoncha yochlemo kakash Uvruach apecha ne'ermu mayim nitzvu kmoned nozlim kaf'u tomot belev yam amar oyev edof asig achalek shalal timlaemo nafshi arik charbi torshemo yadi Nashafta veruchacha kisamo yam tzalalu kaoferet b'mayim adirim. And here's the line we know best. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh nora tilot osefele Natita yamincha tivlaemo aretz Nachita bechastecha amzuhu ga'alta Nehaltan be'azvucha el neve kodshecha Shamu amim yirgazun Chil achaz yoshvei filashet Az nivhalu alufei Edom Elei Moav yochazemu Ra'ad nahamogu Kol yoshvei Chanaan Tipol aleihem emata v'afachad Bigdol zroacha yidmuhu ka'aven Ad yavor amcha Adonai Ad yavor amzu kanita. We're almost done. Tiv emo vatit emo be'ar nachalatcha machon l'shivdecha be'alta Adonai mihikdash Adonai korenu yadecha. Last verse. Adonai yimloch leolam Okay, let's all offer the blessing together. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Ata Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. So why don't we remain standing as we will raise the Torah. And Howard, can we ask you, should we have you raise it down there, or you okay to, what do you prefer?
What if Howard takes this side and I take this side?
Okay, that's good. Okay, so what we're, great. Okay, that's great. So maybe go up the left side and come back to Howard, be careful.
Vezot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Israel al pi Adonai beyad Moshe.
You come down the other way.
Yalai, lai, 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 lai. Yalai, lai, 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 yalai, 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 lai, 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 yalai, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yalai, lai, 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 yalai, 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 lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai, lai. Lai, yalai, 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 la, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai.
We put the Torah away on page 250. Yeah, we got it.
Okay, we're on
Page 250, please remain standing.
okay.
Etz Chaim hi lama chazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar deracheya darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kekedem. Please come down safely, and please feel free to be seated. Thank you. So we've come through our morning blessings, offered our Amidah, we've offered Hallel, we've traveled through the Red Sea. It's amazing, I think that as Jews, we really have a kind of a knack and an insight for how to transcend time and space. And the service of Yizkor is one of those insights. One of those moments in which we hopefully recognize that the gift of memory is the work of memory, is the responsibility of memory, is ultimately the payoff, too, of remembering. So this morning we're thinking about loss. Every one of us, I assume, has lost a loved one. Today is Yizkor. On Yom Kippur, in the afternoon,
on the last day of Sukkot, last day of Pesach, that's today, and on Shavuot, in about a month, we come together for this service of Yizkor to remember our loved ones who have passed. I am thinking about my father, who died 9 years ago. I think about his absence. I think about how different it is that I can't call him when I get in the car. I can't have that 2-minute check-in. I can't have that hug that he gave me every single morning and every single night that we lived in the same home, and every other occasion that we saw each other. What is it that we lose when a loved one dies? What have we lost? What was at the core of those treasured relationships? And let's ask as well, what remains? What is it that I connect with every single day to my loved one? Rabbi David Wolpe has a thoughtful idea. He says that on a morning like this, we definitely mourn the passing of loved ones, but only their bodies. We don't mourn the passing of all the non-tangible things of our loved ones. The body is part of who you are, but not all of you. And this morning I want to focus on those non-tangible, intangible things that nonetheless are profoundly real. Love and justice, they are real. Truth, mathematics, they're real. Kindness and inner beauty, they are real and intangible. I think that just as I have a piece of the eternal, there is a piece of the eternal in every person, every one of us, and every human being. There's actually a joke from the yeshiva world that goes like, all Jews get to study Talmud with God after they die. For some, this is heaven. For others, it's hell. No? It's cute, isn't it? Did you get it? Hello? Okay. And Rabbi Lawrence Kushner once quipped, my dad died 10 years ago and our relationship is better than ever. So this morning I want us to think about what it is that remains. What's happening in the world, in ourselves, when we feel our loved ones close to us? What are those experiences? When we feel the call, the knock, the whisper, some presence. Story about Albert Einstein. When he was a boy, one time he got sick and his father brought him home a gift. You might well know this story. And his father brought him what? Anyone know? A compass. His father brought him a compass. And after examining the compass, recognizing that something always made it point north, Albert he wondered to himself, what causes this to point north? And he later wrote about that compass, saying that he then and there discovered that something deeply hidden had to be behind all things. Something deeply hidden had to be behind all things. Albert Einstein said that. And this morning I'm thinking about what is it that is deeply hidden behind our love and our loss? What are those moments when we're connected to our deceased loved ones, when we have an encounter with that deeply hidden thing, that deeply hidden thing behind all things? Rabbi Naomi Levy puts it like this. I envision the soul as a compass that resides within us. The soul is a compass that resides within us, pointing to eternal things. Love, beauty, wholeness, meaning, union, calling, God. She continues. The soul points to our unique spiritual anatomy. Connecting to the soul is the key to a life of meaning and fulfillment. Naomi Levy calls that thing behind, that hidden thing, the soul. And we know these moments of soul. They've happened to all of us. Moments of beauty, connection, intimacy, meaning, interconnection. Those are soul moments. They're not so easy to find or to create, but we do know that they are real. Rabbi Levy says, it helped me realize something true about it. She helped me realize something true about our popular activity in America, Western culture, the selfie. We work hard to get the perfect selfie. You know, the selfie stick, the selfie equipment, the right angle, height, distance. I was on the beach last summer and watched multiple people literally spend 2 hours posing for selfies, like obsessively trying to capture the perfect shot. It seemed kind of sad to me, honestly. The selfie isn't the core of who we are. It doesn't capture our essence. And it definitely doesn't capture our self-worth. So Rabbi Levy suggests a different focus. Not a selfie, but a soulfie. She calls it a soulfie. Instead of taking a regular selfie, we should strive to witness a regular soulfie. And that, I think, was what Einstein was pointing to. Something that was hidden behind that compass, behind that material object that could always help us discover where we are. That's the soul, the soulfie. And this soulfie can help give us some great directions to where we are. It definitely can capture our essence. And when it's done well, it's stunningly beautiful. Rabbi Levy makes 4 observations about the soul. The soul fills the body just as God fills the world. The soul outlasts the body just as God outlasts the world. The soul is one in the body just as God is one in the world. And the soul sees but is not seen, just as God sees but is not seen. Of course, it's hard many times to stay truly connected to our soul. It is for me too. Life and in this century and in this place, this time and place, puts up so many barriers to maintaining an active, ongoing, and passionate connection to our soul. But maybe it's comforting to know that the challenges, the difficulties we face in 21st century America are not new. The challenge of focusing on the soulfie rather than the selfie is no accident, and it seems to have existed for a long time, maybe forever. That's why there's the following rabbinic story. God shared a secret with the angels. The secret was that man would have the image of God. God shared with the angels that God intended to imbue man with, what's it called? Tselem Elohim. Tselem, the image, Elohim of God. God communicated this to the angels. The angels were mad. They were jealous and outraged at God. Don't trust humans with your image. They'll abuse the power if they discover it, said the angels to God. And so the angels decided to steal God's image. This is the rabbinic fantasy. It's fantastic, actually, because it's pointing to something very real in our lives, or something we really experience. The angels were mad, and they decided to steal God's image. They did. They succeeded to steal God's image, but then they had a problem. What was the problem? What are they going to do with it? Where do they put it? You get it? That's their problem. The angel Gabriel suggested, let's hide it at the top of a mountain. But the others said, they'll learn one day to climb. The angel Michael said, I know, put it at the bottom of the sea. The angel Uriel said, I know a place where man will never look for it. So it went. And ultimately, they hid God's precious image deep within the human soul. And to this day, God's image is hidden in that very place. our difficulties, our challenge, and actively living with and building albums full of Solfis is an ancient challenge. Rabbi Levy's mom asked her to do her a favor and to go out to the market. She lives in Los Angeles, and buy some time. So Naomi Levy goes to the farmer's market in Los Angeles and says, where's time? The man said, over there, and he points. She then asked, how much is time? And the answer was, well, it depends how much you want. And she said, I want a lot of time. Thyme is a wonderful herb which improves eyesight, heart health, even our blood flow. It's wonderful to have it in abundance precisely because Thyme might well be able to extend our Time. Time, something we all want in great abundance. Personally, I am convinced, I'm moved by Rabbi Levy's message. I'm coming to believe, in my own personal mayor journey, that soul, that thing we cannot see but is behind everything, soul is the key. Soul is like the compass, hidden behind everything that points to love and connection and meaning and beauty and passion and purpose. You can continue the list. Each of us can ourselves. Building a relationship with our soul, striving for Solfis more than selfies, that's the key to Time. To making the most of our time here and to enable our loved ones to remain with us long after their bodies have gone. I want to address one last thought, concern. For most of us, many of us for sure, maybe most of us, it's scary to contemplate dying. I've spoken in my life as a rabbi with many people about our fear of dying. I want to share one meaningful, maybe beautiful idea from our tradition about soul and death. The soul comes from a place of eternity. It comes from God. Naturally then, says the tradition, the soul is reluctant to enter into this temporal world. The way the rabbis understand it, God actually has to persuade, coerce, convince the soul to come down. And ultimately the soul only agrees to come down for two reasons. One, in order to fulfill a holy mission. And two, in order to, in the future, ascend, to go back up. And we see this even in Moses' life. It's from Moses' life that this rabbinic tradition comes. Our great mystical text, the Zohar, says about Moses that God had to convince Moses to accept his mission and also to depart from this earth. We know well that early on in Moses' life, he wasn't keen on accepting the mission. That we know. It's very clear from the text. But also, not so clear, he wasn't keen on letting go at the end. And not just his body wasn't letting go. His soul, Moses' soul, was not ready to leave. So first God had to convince Moses' body, his physical being, to let go. But even after succeeding at that, God had to convince Moses' soul to stick around as well. Come, my daughter, it's time to go. Don't delay. I will bring you to the highest heavens. That's the way the Zohar understands the conversation between God and Moses' soul. Come, my daughter, it's time to go. Don't delay. I'll bring you to the highest heavens. Like many of our souls, Moses' soul also resists, rejects, refuses. The soul of Moses said to God, I know you're master of all souls, but I love Moses. The soul of Moses, I love Moses. Please don't make me leave him yet. Like our souls, Moses' soul was scared to leave him. And the soul of Moses ultimately departs only when God personally draws close. And the Zohar teaches that God actually gave Moses' soul a kiss. Only upon this kiss does the soul of Moses agree to return to the world above. That's our tradition. Every one of us can receive a kiss from God. God gives a kiss to every one of our souls. Since God feels the fear that every one of our souls feels, God grants a kiss to each and every one of us. As one congregant has said, so maybe fearing death isn't a weakness or a lack of faith, Rabbi. Could it be that my soul too is caught between two worlds? That was the question. And I want to say yes. All of our souls are caught, striving, seeking, yearning to stay, to fulfill their mission, but also praying that they can reunite with the divine presence. And so on this Yizkor of Pesach, I wish for you an even greater sense of soul. A soul that invites you to private, intimate places with your loved ones whose bodies have departed. A soul that binds you to all of your loved ones whose bodies have more time here. And a great awareness and faith that every act, every effort of love and warmth and companionship and beauty grows your soul and brings her closer to every other soul and to the soul of souls. Chag Sameach.
We continue with the recitation of Yizkor on page 312. We'll begin with Psalm 23, sung. Page 312. Adonai roi lo echsar binot deshe yarbitzeini al mei menuchot Nafshi shovev, ishovev, yishodeh baglei tzedek, yanecheini b'maglei tzedek, leman shemo. Gam ki eilech begeitz al mavet lo ira ki ata imadi shiftecha umishantecha Shulchan neged tzorerai dishanta vashem roshi kosi rivaya ach
sar Adonai rohi lo echsar.
Turn to page 313 together. I turn my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way. Your guardian will not slumber. For the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your guardian. Adonai is your protection at your right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. Adonai will guard you from all harm. God will guard your life. Adonai will guard your going and coming, now and forever.
Page 314.
Shiviti Adonai lenegdi tamid ki mimini bal lehemot lachein samach libi v'yagel kevodi av besari yishkon laveitach ki to tazov nafshi lishol לא תיתן חסידך לראות שחת, תודיעני אורח חיים, אורח חיים. שובע שמחות את פניך, נעמוד בימינך נצח. Shiviti Adonai lenegdi tamid ki mimini bal emot. We continue on page 315, reading at the bottom responsively. Each person has a name. We each have a name given by God and given by our father and mother. We each have a name given by our stature and smile and given by our attire. We each have a name given by the hills and given by the walls.
We each have a name given by the stars and given by our friends. We each have a name given by our sins and given by our yearnings. We each have a name given by our enemies and given by love.
We each have a name given by celebrations and given by our work. We each have a name given by the seasons and given by our blindness. We each have a name given by the sea and given by our death.
So before we offer our silent Yizkor on 316 and then our Kaddish, what I'd like is for all of us to rise and to offer the name or names of the loved one or loved ones who you're here remembering.
Irene Springer, Stanley Springer, Bert Asher, Gerard Asher, Enid Asher, Hannah Miller, and Angie Schwimmer.
Norman Diamond, Herb Weiner, Emma and Harry Mann, Goldie Diamond, and Judy Rothenberg.
My parents, my brother, my sister-in-law, some of our relatives, and Saul Kessler, who's always with me in heaven.
Arthur Ray and Esther C's, my parents and grandmother, and Harry and Nettie Silverstein.
Alan Edwards Ellis, Dorothy Davis, and all of her family.
My husband that we don't even know their names.
I would say Fanny, my mother, Chaim, Naphtali, and Yaakov and Malachit, Elisha,
Joshua Lieberman, my brother. Zichrono Livracha. Milton Steinberg and Roberta Alden.
Milton Steinberg.
My husband, my parents, my brothers, my in-laws.
Kaylee Sandberg, Sadie Bergquist, my brother Ruth Bergquist, my sister Lisa Rakovich, Martha's sister Esther and Tina and Steve Mutillo, Carrie. That's it.
My parents, Paul and Hyman Cohen, my brother Jeffrey Cohen, my in-laws Sally and Abe, Butch Harris, my grandparents, aunts and uncles.
Robert Kagan, my husband, Eva Meyer, my sister, Zalman Hillel, my parents, and all those who died in the Holocaust. And there were many.
My parents, my in-laws, my brothers, and my great-grandma.
Invite all of us to take a moment of silence.